This is a special Boy Green Daily that we've all been waiting for. First off, we're going to recap, of course, the green and white scrimmage yesterday, tell you everything you need to know, plus highlight a surprising player, Allen Lazard comeback tour. Plus, we'll open up the phone lines and welcome several new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's time to get this party started on a Sunday.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast, people. Welcome to a Sunday edition. And on this special edition, let's immediately welcome in my guest, my cohort, okay? A partner in crime in all of these festivities. You know him well. It is my father, who has the same name, but at a senior instead of the junior, and maybe some more wisdom, perhaps age. We'll find out whatever else he's going to contribute to the program, because every chapter is a journey. Let's bring him in. It's time to enter the Eston Zone. What's happening, Pop?
Hey now.
Wow.
Hey, it's good to see you, Boy Green. And I would say guest. I would say, I'm not here to toot my own horn.
Okay.
But for everyone out there, I had to drag, push, and inspire Boy Green to update his merch.
Sure.
To launch it. And after many prodding, poking, carrying, and throwing, we will have the Boy Green toss, by the way, at the game. But anyways, we finally got him to do the merch.
Yeah.
Right. And so now we have so we moved on. And then there's the next thing.
Sure.
Boy Green's an amazing sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
Not much in the business sense or prioritization department.
I see.
Right. He played bad until 2 a.m. last night. But he would make it easier for people to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Until yesterday, we sat down, we talked about it. I inspired him. And now it is super easy to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Now, so I'll turn it over to you so you can, expound upon my words and give me the credit I deserve.
Yes, it is a good point. It's never good when fans have said, Paul, Boy Green Coffee Club, sounds great. How do I join from this phone or this or this? I'm like, not sure. And they're like, oh. And then it just kind of died there. So I've heard your pleas. My father's heard your pleas. And then finally, we've done something about it. So moving forward, starting today and moving forward, if you'd like to be a part of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which you may be saying, what the hell even is that thing? That is a YouTube membership. If you want to go above and beyond the casual fan will like our video, which again is super important. I don't want that to be overlooked, and hopefully everyone, whether you're a member or not, like the video and hit subscribe and show your support for the show. That's massively important. But if you want to go to the next step, be a part of our Discord, unlock emojis. More on that in a few minutes. If you want to do all of those steps and have your comments highlighted, you'll be signified by a special marker if you are a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's just $2.99 a month, and now it's easier than ever before. If you go into the YouTube description of this video, the top link says join the Boy Green Coffee Club by clicking this link. So whether you're on a phone, whether you're operating with some sort of a bird signal, all of it should be the same. You click that, and immediately it offers to join now, and you just click that, bing, boom, bam. You'll immediately become a member. I will do a crazy jig, as I'm about to do, because we had a Boy Green Coffee Club membership overload off air somehow of what happened here, and that is because of making it a lot easier for you, the fans. So right off the top rope, we have to get to that. So let's do a couple of chimes. I should probably do these together, so let's hit that again. My parents? Yes, my mother and father are now both card-carrying members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Now, unfortunately, because this video wasn't set up yet, there's not an official marker that I can highlight on the screen, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But they are now both members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. So, Father, thanks for the literal support on a month-to-month basis.
Yes, and it's better than the decoder ring with Ralphie, which is drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah.
This actually brings you somewhere. This content, the Discord,
Sure.
super chat, secret chat, whatever it is, and the emojis.
Yeah.
So yes, very exciting, and thank you. After months of prodding, for finally listening is fundamental.
That's what they say. A couple more here, which is this from MFC. Actually, I was meant to play the chimes, but the JETS chant always makes your breakfast slightly better, but... This was before the show. MFC, mother_effing_2 gifted a membership, which is also something else you could do. If you guys see the money sign on your screen, you can gift memberships 1, 3, 4, 5, 10. You could gift as many as you'd like. And you may want to do so because we are a couple of memberships away, and I'll explain that in a second from the next emoji. But Luis Cordova, you are now a member. Thank you to MFC for becoming a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. So shout out to you, brother. You are there. And then one more, because like I said, we had an overload of memberships that are coming in. And this one is, this guy was interacting with me on Madden last night. Here we go. Let's go to Dick Chimney's Burner. Well, thanks for the creativity, pal. You are now officially a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thanks for your support. Appreciate it much. So, with all of those members I just said, we are now 13 members away from the next emoji. So we have been flying through. We've almost had like a new emoji every day. YouTube makes you reach a certain mile marker before you can unlock new emojis. So before we could get to any Jets talk, and we've already 7 minutes into this thing, we've had like new emojis every day. There's the BMAC over emoji, and boy, will we get to that later. The PLE, the pay-per-view. I mean, the pay-per-view last night of SummerSlam was pretty good with Put Your Ones Up, Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief, the head of the table, coming back on SummerSlam last night in Cleveland, Ohio. But we'll get the return of something else coming up in a little bit. And, of course, our wow emoji for my beautiful daughter and my father's granddaughter, Zariah Luna, which, of course, is... Wow! Is now remembered forever. That is labeled actually Zariah Luna. When you guys do that, it shows up to me here on StreamYard as Zariah Luna. So we have one more emoji, which will honor Jared B. And again, we are 13 members away. We will see if we can get there. And again, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you want to become a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you have to hop on over to YouTube, youtube.com/BoyGreen25, and click this very video that's streaming live, and that'll be the first link that you click. Whew. Okay, now that we've gotten through all that jazz, Pop, we need to now get to the brass tacks here, which was the green and white scrimmage yesterday. This is their version of a preseason game playing against themselves, because starting next week, they'll have the joint practice, which will be Thursday, August 8th. Shout out. I will wait to reveal the fan's name, but thank you to Jared B. He's also saying, here's how you guys can get the Discord for all the new members. But Jared B gave us 2 tickets for the Jets Commanders practice he could no longer attend, and we gave them away to a wonderful Jets fan who said he's been trying to get to a Jets practice for 3 years, and this will be his first one he's able to attend. So shout out to Jared B for that. That'll be coming up on Thursday, August 8th. He'll be sharing pictures, and we'll share that on social media. So love doing that for a special Jet fan. So thank you to Jared B for that. But we'll have joint practice for every preseason opponent the Jets are going to play. So that is Commanders, Panthers, and Giants. Plus, of course, you have the preseason games as they are. But, Dad, we had this green and white scrimmage, and they have a very weird scoring system. It doesn't work how a game would work, touchdowns and field goals. Apparently, they had, like, if you play oh, my God, let me try to think of the game you used to play. I'm trying to remember the scene. You were like a gunman. It's not Resident Evil. You used to play this all the time, but you had to like hide and you didn't want to be caught by somebody. Do you remember the game, Dad? Is that bringing any memories whatsoever? It's a game I used to watch.
Maybe a Snake or somebody was the character's name was Snake. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever that video game was, you used to have to like hide, and if they saw you, like, huh! And then like stopped the screen and was shaking, all kinds of stuff. But anywho, what happened here, where there was all kinds of weird side quest, is really what I was getting to. That apparently it's secret side quest we didn't know. That's what Saleh kind of explained after. That there was full game action. There was halves and 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, special teams, and all this other kind of jazz. But they had these tasks that they wanted them to complete. And so we don't know who won what, but what we do know is that there was a lot of action here going back and forth. I'll throw one at you because I think some of the things we want to kind of take away from here is how big of a concern are things. And I don't know if we've talked about this with you prior. Joe Tippmann. There was a video, and we can, okay, sure. We can bring this one up. This was not good. I will show you guys the video. A Jet fan took this from practice because we didn't have any. It's not like the Jets broadcast this event, but unfortunately, yeah, this is it. This is the video I'll show you guys on the screen here. There won't be any audio, but yikes, Joe Tippmann, aka Joe Yipman, on the centers during practice so far. You guys are going to see this. This is from the Jet practice scrimmage yesterday. I'll just turn off the sound because it doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers is in a red zone drill. It looks like at the 8-yard line. And this is the first time during camp/scrimmage that the snap goes over his head. And then basically the play just kind of gets called dead. The coaches normally hang out behind it. They even do that in college. And I'll show it one more time. So Joe Tippmann, long story short, Dad, the starting center for the New York Jets, has had a lot of problems with high snaps. And we don't know what it is. It seems like, again, some sort of a weird case of the yips. It's happened throughout these practices. It's happened in this scrimmage. Big deal, no deal. When should we start worrying as these continue to happen here in practice?
Yeah, before we get to that, by the way, those coaches, like you just blow, when it goes over his head in that scenario, you blow the whistle immediately and you step in between Rodgers and anybody else. What the were they doing? I don't want him chasing the ball down in practice, right? He's coming off the injury. That goes over his head. Immediately blow the whistle and make a wall of people to turn those defend. The guy was within 2 feet of him. Now, I know he's not going to tackle him, and he's wearing the red jersey. Yes. But why not immediately blow the whistle? Do you need the
situational
rep?
Go through it? Yeah,
No.
No, I hope not. Let me say that. I hope we won't need to practice for those scenarios because I hope those scenarios are not regularly presenting themselves, which takes us back
this early in camp. That's not what you want Rodgers doing. That's my point.
Okay,
blow it dead. But anyways, I would tell you that so long snapping is a very unique skill. There are players, and I can't name them off the top of my head, but there are people that stay in the league just for that sole purpose. They can tackle a little bit. They're undersized. Now the NFL doesn't let you stomp a mud hole in the center that you can't hit them.
Yeah, new rules. Yeah.
So those guys play 14, 15 years. Long snapper is so unique. But I would tell you, to be able to shotgun snap is a learned skill. And I don't care. That Cornholio could practice 1,000 snaps a day. He should be able to fix the problem. And, eventually, every so often, scenario based, that might happen once or twice a season, maybe. But if it's happening more than that practice, they need to do something. He needs to demonstrate that he can do it, or he can demonstrate it somewhere else when he's flipping flapjacks at the IHOP.
Yeah. Former second-round draft choice of the Jets. I do want to show this because I won't paint it at all. We're going to – Saleh yesterday did his presser, and he was asked 2 questions about Tippmann. I paired them together to make it easier for everybody. They happen at different points during the press conference, but they're about Joe Tippmann, who is the New York Jets starting center. I just want you to hear his response because people are saying, oh, boy, is this snapping situation something to worry about? So I won't paint you with my opinion until we hear it. But here we go. Let's go to the tail of the tape here. Here is Robert Saleh, and get all the highlights of the press conference I put on my Twitter. That is @BoyGreen25. So I want to play this, and you tell me your thoughts here on this. Okay, here we go.
What's going on with Joe? I know you're doing everything you can, but how's that going to change where he's not high snaps?
Oh, Tim, we got to continue working with it. He had a couple of good days, and then today with the environment a little bit heightened, it got away from him, and so we'll continue working with him.
Going back to Joe Tippmann, is it a technical thing that's bugging right now? Is it a mental thing?
Yeah, it's going to be there's some technical stuff in there. It's not mental. He's not flustered. It's like I said, we're trying to maximize his athleticism, which is asking him to do some things that from an athletic standpoint, we're pushing him, and he's just got to learn the timing and the rhythm and all that stuff, and he'll get it under control. It's one of the least things I'm worried about.
So there you go from Saleh. He says it's one of the least things that he's worried about, this Joe Tippmann center snapping situation. Did you hear both of those answers from Saleh, and did you have an immediate take? Because I certainly did.
Yeah, so that's classic Saleh.
Okay.
Right? So at the beginning, he says, it's the first time we're out there, essentially mixing it up. He didn't use those words.
Yeah, right.
And then he goes, yeah, well, it's not because he was under pressure or whatever, again, whatever words he used. And then, so you just said it was, and then you said it wasn't. That's a classic Saleh. And so it is, right? It's the first time he's had someone's got to punch him in the face, right? And so now he's going to think about getting punched in the face because I can long snap, right, to your sister Haley all day long, right? And then when somebody's going to punch you in the face, it's a different thought process. I've got to snap this ball and make sure I don't get punched in the face. So it clearly is beyond what he claimed. He is making, I don't think it's a big deal. I think he can overcome it, but he is underplaying it. That's what I think. And he contradicted himself, which is classic Saleh.
Yeah, I just have to say that first one happens very beginning of the presser. And then the second coming back to Tippmann was like the middle of the press conference, 5 or 6 minutes later. And I just have to say, when I heard that first one, and he says, it was all kind of heightened up with the scrimmage with like 2,000 fans. And I'm like, he didn't say that, but like that's how many fans were there. It was over 2,000. And I'm like, the pressure of a scrimmage against your own team kind of threw him off his game. Whoa, that is absolutely not what I want to hear. And I went like zoinks immediately to the answer. I'm like, oh God, oh geez. And then I heard the second one that completely contradicted it. I'm like, okay, maybe because like I didn't overreact immediately. I'm like, let me see when I'm cutting up clips. Let me see if he talks about it again because I don't want it to be out of base. I want them to be together so the context can be fully understood if he is asked about it again. It's just like a completely not a mental thing. I'm like, oh, okay, because when he said the first answer, I assumed it was completely a mental thing, and that was apparently what was getting in his head. Like he had been screwing up on a regular basis, and then he screwed up even more, which again, Aaron Rodgers had said on a previous interview that despite all the snapping issues, the one thing Tippmann had not done yet to that point is he hasn't fired one over my head. So he said, that's pretty good. He and Rodgers joked in this interview with Tippmann was nowhere there. It was Aaron Rodgers and some other person. I believe it was Kay Adams. And he said, hey, I've still got some athletic ability left. It's good to kind of jump up every once in a while, but one hasn't fired over my head yet. As long as he gets it somewhere between my mid belly button to my nose, I'm completely fine with that snap, range. And then we have this in the scrimmage, and boy, that answer, I hate that answer. That was that first answer was terrible. But so yes, some contradicting of himself, but you say no big deal at this point. But when is it a big deal? Because preseason coverage starts immediately this week for the New York Jets. So naturally, I would assume, we'll see which starters get reps because you have 3 preseason games now instead of the 4 outside of the teams that play in the Hall of Fame game last week. Bears Texans will have 4 preseason games, but everybody else has 3. So it'd be interesting to see how they use their starters. But eventually, I would assume that Tippmann's going to get some sort of reps, whether it's this upcoming week or others. And especially in the joint practices, let's say that bare minimum, he's going to be playing against another team's jersey. When is it time to worry if these issues persist?
Yeah, and so you might have said it, I might have missed it. When do they have a scrimmage before their first another team scrimmage before their first season?
Yes, so that is Thursday, August 8th, and they will have one against every preseason opponent throughout.
Yeah, so to me, it's not the preseason game, it's that scrimmage, and it's the first one. Right.
Okay.
You can't wait.
Yeah.
You can't wait. So if he's going to have problems enough that you're concerned, you got to, and again, it's repetition. It's a whole bunch of things. So if he's not going to cut it, we need to pull the ripcord early. and he essentially has, again, what else is he doing,
Yeah.
right? If you got to put food on the table for mama, right? And if you can't get it right, then we got to figure something else. And by the way, I wouldn't wait to pull the cord. I would start in parallel, tuning up the band for who I would put in his place to make sure they can afford this, because the shotgun is the bread and butter. And by the way, that's where every shotgun snap in the history of the world. I don't have a problem between my belly button and nose. Well, where did you want it? Like on your chin? I mean, exactly.
I think he was just being specific. I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think a lot of people know that that is what quarterbacks want. I don't think they knew the specifics. They just snap it
know
somewhere
that?
near it. I don't know. I've never heard a quarterback talk about it before. Like, hey, this is
That's
where.
because it's common sense.
Well, I guess perhaps not.
I like my shoelaces to be on my shoes. But anyways, yes, Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
That's it. Yes.
That may have been a specific game. I think it's Metal Gear with a bunch of various titles, and the guy's name was Snake.
Okay, good.
But
Metal
anyway,
Gear Solid.
sorry for
Thank you. That makes me feel better. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
So,
yes. So I agree with you. I think those joint practices, as I was even going through of explaining what's coming up, I'm like, you know what? The joint practice would be a great thing if we're playing against the Commanders, as we are. And Judy Batista, shout out to Judy Batista of the NFL Network, she talked about how controlled those are. Robert Saleh and Dan Quinn, who you're very familiar with, they will have a conversation ahead of these joint practices, and Dan Quinn will tell Robert Saleh what he wants to get out of it. Saleh will tell Dan Quinn what he wants to get out of it, and they come to the meeting of the minds to create a simulation of all these situations, 2-minute drills, red zone, all this other stuff. That will be a great temperature check, because if Tippmann is still sending that to the high heavens in a game-like scenario, which is what it is, and that's what all these coaches love about these scrimmages, that may be the sign of that. And let's, go ahead.
Now, what does Dan Quinn say? What I really want to get out of this practice, Robert, is not to suck. So anyways, yes, Terrence Hill did say Metal Gear Solid early in the comments.
Oh, he did. Yes, I missed it.
I am I'm not taking full credit for that.
Okay.
So yes, it was.
Thank you, Terrence Hill. That is, I missed that earlier. And I have to give flowers. It's in the headline of this video. Allen Lazard comeback tour. I mean, he has just been, by all accounts, terrific, catching touchdown passes outside. There's been, again, he hasn't been perfect. He had a drop earlier in camp that led to Aaron Rodgers' first interception of training camp, which was a direct, it hit him right in the mitts. So there is some of that action. There's no doubt about it. But for the majority, he has looked great. He's had some great touchdowns. He has had a obvious chemistry with Aaron Rodgers that is obviously had been pre-existing. But I will say, before I even throw it back to you, Pop, the things that I've hated is when Allen Lazard has stepped up to the mic. It still seems like a lot of excuse making for what happened last year. And maybe I just need to start on a clean slate and try to ignore any of those comments about that stuff. Or, like, for instance, here's another example. So something Allen Lazard did not do last year is special teams. He had 0 special teams reps last season. But if he is down the depth chart as he appears to be, wide receiver 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range, typically that player on an NFL roster has to know special teams. And Saleh seemingly indicated that Allen Lazard was gung-ho for, oh, baby, can't wait for the special teams reps, can't wait to get back to my core and really give it. And then when Lazard spoke at the presser, he went, I need to pull the quote because it's terrific. But it was something like, I saw my name was a top, it's almost like if I go to a Taekwondo tournament, when I get to the tournament, there's a lot of papers that are taped to the wall that tells me my bracket and who I'm playing and all this and who I'm facing off against and all this information. I'm like, okay, Paul, okay, great. Okay, so apparently they do that for the depth charts of different things. Lazard, special teams, and he said, well, it's my job and I don't want to get fined, so I showed up to the special teams drill. And I was like, what a horrible answer. Good Lord. It sounded like he was, from Saleh, oh, I'm gung-ho, can't wait for special teams. And apparently he was not. He was like, I didn't want to get fined, so I did it. And he said, and he talked about himself in this gravitas, bigger than me tone that's saying, I think basically he said, without saying it, I think I'm above that. I'm a starting caliber player in this league, but whatever, I'll do it. So that part of every time he's kind of spoken, I've hated that, but I can't deny the production on the field and the pops I've seen in camp. What do you make of the Allen Lazard story so far this offseason?
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate. Like people like us, other people talk about these people,
Yeah.
and they literally can almost say nothing, right? And so imagine if let's put yourself in Lazard's shoes for just a second.
Okay.
So last year, the season, 4 plays in, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
And so if you're Lazard, you just got paid, you're really happy to be there. And what you're known for, and this is not my thoughts, this is what Madden says, right? He's a downfield playmaker, spectacular guy. And so to make that happen, you need at least 2 components.
Okay.
Right. One is someone that's capable of throwing it down the field, which we didn't have starting play 5 of the season.
I see. Okay.
And the second one is that person needs the time to throw the ball, which we didn't have since last, I don't know, June. So he sees he came in to make a splash. His name is being, because it's easy. Even Saleh did it, right? His name is being dragged through the mud like it's his fault that a decision was made not to get another quarterback. Like it was his fault that we thought better of the offensive line than they actually deserved, right? And so he is a down the field playmaker. So what did you have? You had your number 1 guy who was always going to get the ball, right? You've got Conklin, who's your relief valve, and then you got the guy out of the backfield. The down the field guy, unless you went out of his way, we know how much of an offensive genius Hackett is, unless you went out of your way to have some kind of unique play for him, like 3 times you run it one time and then, you do all of a sudden he's out there by himself, run down the field solo. So we didn't do him any favors, and he can't say the things to defend himself without sounding, like he's against the team. So as I've reflected on it, right? Yes, he's in a no-win situation, right? They didn't have anyone to throw him the ball. He was never the second option. He was like the 3rd or 4th option on every play. And so, I think it's good. I think we'll see something out of him. And now for a difference, there will be somebody that can throw the ball to him. If something, hopefully not, happens to Rodgers, we'll have somebody that can throw the ball to him, as opposed to the litany of people we are scraping off practice squads.
Yeah, I would say the problem by fans last year, if I could kind of bottle it up and give it to you, is so he was paid $44 million. So the Jets were asking him essentially to be the wide receiver 2 on this team, the Robin to Garrett Wilson's Batman. And apparently, based on the results of last year and just kind of in general, it seems like he was miscast. It doesn't seem like he is capable of being a wide receiver 2, which is why the Jets went out and got Mike Williams. But I think what a lot of people that were rubbed the wrong way about everything of the Lazard experience is he goofs around with a soccer ball before the game, and a lot of people that bothers them for whatever reason. So put that aside. And that, he's had the things that you can't control. So sure, playing with Aaron Rodgers, he is better than whatever he is. Not playing with Aaron Rodgers and the terrible quarterback play, not just not playing, it was terrible. But the penalties, the drops, the seemingly lack of effort at times, and to a point where a $44 million man is a healthy scratch on multiple occasions down the stretch, seemingly quitting on the team. There was just a lot of that negative hoopla around, and maybe it's understandable, again, to put ourselves in the shoes to try to understand. You're playing with your best friend quarterback. All of a sudden, you're not being utilized the way that you were supposed to be utilized. Maybe that can wear on somebody, but, it's hard to, pull out the violins for somebody. It's getting $44 million to the fans and say, hey, it's a results-oriented business, pal. There are a lot of things in your game you can control regardless of whoever the quarterback is, effort, and all these other things. And he seemed to fail in some of those categories.
So I think he is going to do much better this year. I think that what we're seeing now is a positive sign for things for the future. With Mike Williams, with the offensive line, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to, if you ask me, if you put me on the spot, what's it going to look like this year? I think he's in the 800-yard range with, 6 to 10 touchdowns, 800-yard range. So, right, you can write that down, somebody.
Okay, all right.
So I think that's possible, right? Is he the 3rd? Is he the 4th? If he doesn't, it's because because what Wilson got, what Williams got, what the Yak champion gets and what Conklin gets, right? It's going to be, a spoils of riches, right? You're going to have the ball to distribute. So if he doesn't get it, I don't think it's because of play necessarily, although it could be, but it'd be more that they're going to be able to spread the ball around, the weapons that are available. And now that Hackett knows that our boy can catch the ball in the backfield, maybe he'll throw him the ball a few more times.
We can only hope. So again, obviously, I've got some feelings on Allen Lazard that are hard to wash off after some of the things we've seen. But I want to start fresh. I want to just say, you know what? It's a new season. None of us want to remember last year. Let's just handshake. Let's start fresh and let's just go. Like I said, it's a little difficult every time I hear him at the microphone, but let's try to reset. Let's end with a couple of nuggets here. So the green and white scrimmage was great. It was back and forth, which is what I wanted. I was on the Jake Asman show on Friday, and I'll be on his show every Friday in the somewhere afternoon, evening range. And Jake asked me, what do I want to see? I want to see back and forth. No one side dominating, because while that will be fun with big plays, then you're like, oh boy, that's concerning, because why are they dominating? So it was back and forth. Great. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And we got several updates on a couple of guys. By the way, Tyron Smith, rest day. He did not play, which means Olu Fashanu did. That was a regular scheduled rest day, so that's phenomenal. A couple other players that are banged up, things happening. Malik Taylor has a shoulder. He's the wide receiver, former Packers wideout. Has a shoulder issue. Saleh hopes that it's not too long, hoping to get him back next week. Tack McKinley is working on a foot issue. We'll keep you posted there. The big one was Michael Carter II. Saleh, for whatever reason, was not asked immediately about this ankle issue. And the more it kind of hung in the balance with no update, it was kind of concerning. According to Saleh, I don't have the direct quote. It's on my Twitter account, so I should, let me just pull it, because it's an important update to give. So here's the full quote from Saleh. He's going to be a week or two. Nothing long term. Nothing is broken. Everything is good. He just has to work through the ankle. That is on Michael Carter II. So he got hurt, and then he kind of disappeared from the picture, and none of us knew what his status was. Again, he should be just fine. Thank goodness. That one was a little scary. And by the way, Sauce Gardner, who didn't practice on Friday because of a personal thing. I heard it was really a really personal family situation. I don't want to give out the details on air, but it sounded like a very personal family situation. It excused absence. He was not at practice on Friday, but apparently because of flight travel, his coming back to play in this scrimmage and stuff, there's all kinds of flight issues where his flight got canceled and things of that nature. So Saleh didn't want to put him out there less than. Yeah, and it showed up so me and Sauce apparently went through the same thing in a lot of ways, where, I was playing video games till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I had to kind of get myself ready for the show. And I don't know, I wasn't fully prepared, but I showed up anyway. And then Sauce, because of all this flight issues, so I was like, I'm just going to give him the day off. So he just gave him the day off. So he was not out there for the scrimmage yesterday. A lot of people were like, oh no, what's going on? He was there, but he just wasn't participating, by the way, for that green and white scrimmage. So he's just dandy, and he should arrive in due time. So there you go. Wanted to give you guys some updates on all of that jazz. So great. By the way, people are asking about the Madden video. Yes, I'm doing more. It should be in the live section, but I can't monetize it, obviously. And I didn't want to monetize it because there's all kinds of copyright with the Madden video game. It's not, I own the video game, but it's that. So it should still be in the live section. Somehow that's a 2.5-hour video, or God knows however long that is. So feel free to check it out. Some additional content for you guys on top of all the Boy Green dailies and interviews and things of that nature. All right, Pop, are you ready to open up the phone lines?
Yeah, before that,
sure.
I would like to. This is going to be a preview, and not the full dissertation.
Okay.
So a few years ago, Boy Green, this is a proud father moment, right? He held an auction of memorabilia, of sports memorabilia, in support of the Wounded Warriors, and so I know that it made thousands of dollars.
Yes.
For the Wounded Warriors, and that it's kind of died on the vine. Because of COVID, right? Not because of you, because of COVID. So the Boy Green and I are going to get together. We're going to be setting an auction up. It's going to be like a show like this. We're going to auction various items to raise money for the Wounded Warriors. It's a great cause, and it's sad, not to be political, but it's sad that we have to raise money for Wounded Warriors because our country doesn't always take care of their own. But anyways, it'll be various sports memorabilia. I just wanted to give a sample. I'm going to be donating We're going to reach out to some organizations for them to donate stuff. And I'll be donating a few items myself. And actually, I have it right here.
Oh, okay.
It's actually one that I bought on the last auction. And
Yeah.
so this will be one item, and it's not necessarily Jets, it'll be sports memorabilia. This is a Devontae Adams autographed mini football helmet.
So that is a Jets item.
Yeah.
Future
Anyways, let's stay focused.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, items like this will have other autographed items. They may not all be Jets, but I bought that one at the last auction. And if you went to look at mini helmet signed by Devontae Adams today on whatever bidding thing you have, it's not a cheap item. But it'd be fully donations. I'm not selling it. It's being a gift for the auction to raise money for Wounded Warriors. So we'll probably do it around Veterans Day in November. So if you have something you would like to donate for Help Us Auction, or you want to save your pennies to bid on items, we'll have that. It'll be right around Veterans Day, saving money for Wounded Warriors.
Yeah, real quick, because I don't know how often I talked about it, because I think a lot of that existed before I was doing Boy Green Daily regularly to this level. It was around the draft, and thankfully, I'm very humbled that I've known a lot of people in the business, all kinds of people like Daryl Moose Johnston, the 3-time Super Bowl champion, and so many wonderful people in the world of sports that were very gracious with items. And around the draft and my radio show, I did a draft show because I love the draft. We'd go to a VFW. We've gone to restaurants, and I do a show for the people on mic with my radio partner, Jim Lurch. And I would do a mini show. And then after the show, we do these auctions where 100% of the proceeds went to the Wounded Warrior Project. And I love those. I love doing them. It meant a lot. There's a lot of hard work to gather the items, sell the items, do all the business stuff. But I don't care about any of that because, again, it's to an amazing cause, which is the Wounded Warrior Project. And unfortunately, as my father said, because of COVID, we had to stop it. We could no longer be in person. And then the items and shipping and people not being allowed to leave their houses, it just completely put those efforts. But it was something that really revved my engine, was something that was really important to me. So I love that my father brought it up. That's another one of his ideas. He deserves all the credit in the world for it. We will be doing that and putting it together. And if people do have stuff to donate, I'm going to work on how you can ship it and how we're going to work that out and collect items if you do, or if you guys would like to potentially buy some of this stuff. And I will be reaching out to the Jets. Maybe we'll have some Giants, Bills stuff. I don't know. I'm going to NFL stuff. I'm going to keep looking and see what else we could kind of rally and gather. There might be just cool ass sports items, and we'll be looking into that to be auctioning off. And again, 100% of the proceeds, not 5%, not 20%, not 99%, 100% of all of these proceeds from this event are going directly to the Wounded Warrior Project. So keep your eye out. It's a couple months out, but it's going to take a lot of prep to get ready for it. So keep an eye out for it. And we'll be doing one of these virtual shows where you guys will see the items, you can bid on them, and hopefully the goal is just raise a lot of money for the Wounded Warrior Project, which is obviously a cause that's close to both me and my father's heart. So keep an eye out for that here in the near future.
Yep, just to prime the pump, a few items. Devontae Adams signed mini helmet.
Sure.
Dabo Sweeney signed football.
Ooh, wow.
Right.
Okay. National championship football.
Perhaps a Troy Aikman autographed photo as well. So there'll be some things, and it's purely. So whatever you bid, just say it right now. We'll talk more about it much later. Whatever you bid, if you say you bid an item, you win, it's $100. It'll be $100 plus whatever shipping is to wherever you live, unless you want to come pick it up.
Yes, that's also possible. And again, hopefully we're doing more live events in the future where we can kind of organize that on the side. But yes, we don't want the shipping to come out of your purchasing of the money, because we want all the money to go to the Wounded Warrior Project. So yes, that's important to know. So any item you get, again, shipping and handling will have to be handled after. We could discuss that privately after you pick up an item, because maybe you like it's a really good item. You're like, actually, I want the highest possible shipping possible to protect that and ensure it and do all those things. Again, we could get to that at a later point. So thank you, Dad, for bringing that up. And yes, so guys, keep an eye out for that in the future. That'll be a thing just to put kind of on your docket. So that'll be very nice. All right. With that being said, are we ready?
Always ready.
Okay, well, I always open up the phone lines on this show for the second half of the show, and they're open to anybody, whether you're a first time, which, again, I saw several people on Madden last night said, Paul, I really want to call into the show for the first time. Feel free. I am about to open it right now, and you guys can certainly do so if you'd like. Or if you're someone that's called into the show before, that's also possible. I believe, I'm not sure because I haven't even dropped the link in yet, so no one is waiting to join the show. I don't like when people are waiting too long, so I'm about to open it right now, but I think I know at least one person that is going to be coming in to this occasion. We will see if that is indeed true. It is now the pinned message on Boy Green Daily to call into the show. It is youtube.com/BoyGreen25 to the 300 plus people that are live here in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. And like I said, we are 13 members away from the next emoji. We would love to honor the great Jared B., who is our moderator in the chat and is a part of this wonderful community. We'd love to honor him. We need 13 more memberships on the Boy Green Coffee Club, which could be 13 individuals getting it for themselves or, of course, gifting it. You could gift it if you're in your comment section. There should be a money sign that allows you to do that. And if you'd just like to join yourself and you finally want to put yourself over the top, that is the top. If you go into our YouTube description, it is the top link. It says join Boy Green Coffee Club now. Boop. Click that.
Wow.
It should be. Yeah, it should be very convenient and very easy. So, again, 13 memberships away. Hopefully, we can interrupt all these calls with some wonderful memberships coming up. But let's go to the phone lines. And I don't know if you've been on the show yet for this guy, but he is the designer for all of the emojis that have come out so far. He is responsible for all of them. So let's bring in the unmistakable Snowball here on the show. What's up, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. We have met Papa Esden. We've met before.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to actually congratulate Papa Esden. You're a genius with the join hack. What a great idea. There, with great age and wisdom comes great power, and that was a genius idea.
No,
So,
thank you. And by the way, these emojis are smoking. So great job on that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. The Jared B is underway, so we're getting ready for that. Just have a couple of things to finish out on that one. Couple of comments. The Titman concern. I actually have two dials. One is the Titman concern, and one is the Hassan Reddick concern. So they are both dialing up. They are both going up because Titman's, when you're a pro, when you're in the NFL, get it right. So I am all on board with, they say pressure creates diamonds, right? So you got to turn up the pressure a little bit on this guy because he needs to get it right. He's handing the ball off to a Hall of Famer, so that's got to happen. And the Hassan Reddick thing, I'm concerned. I'm hoping that before the first scrimmage he shows up. So maybe before the Washington scrimmage, he'll show his face and he'll walk through the door. So I'm hoping that happens. Other than that, Lazard, I'm disappointed. But, when he starts catching touchdown passes and, starts moving the ball, then we're all going to forget. So, but his attitude, concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning.
Piss poor.
Yeah, he's the prima donna wide receiver attitude without the prima donna stats.
Right, the prerequisite star power that you would be like, well, he's a diva, but look, he is him. Right.
Right. Cincinnati didn't complain too much about Chad Johnson.
No.
Because he was Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
For example.
So we're not going to, again, when things go in a positive direction, we're all going to be happy.
Yes.
I can't spend too much more time. I'm actually getting ready for the premiere of my show, my first episode coming up at 10:30 a.m.
Give us the details real quick, Snowball, before you come out of here. Might as well. Yeah.
So it's a channel called Jets Worldwide, no spaces, just Jets Worldwide. I'll be hosting along with a frequent caller to this show, Johnny Boy. We're gonna have actually a Jet-centric game show today. So so people can tune in. We won't be interacting with the chat, but it's going to be surely entertaining. We have a very, very, very special guest who's going to be on. I'll tease it. And other than that, I think I'm pretty good. I am looking forward to the Wounded Warrior auction. So I may have an item that I'd like to donate. Again, we'll keep that in the sidelines for now. And that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks, Snowball. Appreciate it, brother. We'll be looking to support that brand new show. So thank you.
Thanks so much. All right. Great. Nice seeing you guys.
Yep. There he is. Snowball. Give him one of these. I love game shows. So Jet Game Show. That sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. So guys, make sure you people check it out and make sure you show your support. And again, all right, a bubbling item behind the scenes, Father. And it looks like you're creating some buzz. All right, let's hop on over to the phone lines. We got our boy, one of my favorites, Heep here on the show. What's up, Heep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, Mr. Edson. How you doing?
Doing great.
And look at that great branding behind you. That's the best. That's my favorite TV show. I love that show.
I'm concerning. I know everybody's talking about McGovern. The last time I heard about McGovern, his injury was a little bit more serious than we realized, and he had lost 50 pounds. I don't know what the situation is now. Have you heard anything?
Yeah, actually, I just saw he has been posting, apparently, it must be on his Instagram, viral video workouts of him looking awesome and throwing crazy big weight around, which was certainly encouraging, because that's, I think, the point a lot of people have forgotten. They're like, Kenny McGovern, where's this guy? We need him on the team. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that devastating injury. Maybe that's why he's not on the team. But seeing all these workout videos have been highly encouraging. And obviously with the Tippmann issues, it's been like, Jets, we're going to do something.
It's a no-brainer for what he would cost. Let's get him on board, right?
100%. Yeah, I can't believe, if you think about the first time he joined the team, right, there's a 3-year deal for like 27 to 30 million with incentives. And you're like, whoa, okay, that's significant money for a guy. Last year when he joined the team, like days before the draft, when the Jets would ultimately draft Joe Tippmann, $1.9 million, basically the veteran minimum for his service time in the league. I mean, yeah, an absolute no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want him at a minimum as a backup?
Yeah, I don't understand it. And if B-Mac doesn't show, we're going to go to his house and pull him out of his bed.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens or not. I can't confirm or deny whether he's waiting and ready to go. But
all right, love you guys. Good work.
All right, appreciate it, Heep. Good stuff there. Let's go to another guy. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to bring this guy on the show. And no, it's not B-Mac. It's a guy who absolutely pistol whipped me in Madden in front of my friends and family. It seemed unnecessary and brutal and vicious in nature. But I am a man, and I will do what men do, and I will take it. And here it is. It is Tim from Fishland. Tim, he got his revenge. How are you doing,
Paul,
sir?
good morning, Mr. Edson. Good morning. Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate it to our country. Paul, you got to stop acting like Zach Wilson back there, bud.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah,
you got to stay in the pocket. All right, it's all timing and rhythm. All right, especially in the shot of the strong eye formation, single back. Okay, if you go ahead and you just run outside the pocket without sitting and surveying, you're cutting off half the field.
Yeah.
I saw you do that too much, and it makes it easier on the other defender. So it's not like you had Josh Allen back there. You were Lamar. You're freaking Aaron Rodgers, a 40-year-old
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
All right. If it's not, you know what I mean? And that's what I think he's going to do a lot this year. I don't think you're going to see him taking off that much and running around crazy. I think if there's a free rusher coming in, he's going to go down. He's like he said, I used to be able to run for 300 yards in a season. Now I can't do that, but I can still beat you with my mind and my arm.
Yeah.
So, live to play another down. But like I said, it took me a while to figure that out when I first started playing Madden, was to stop fucking backing up. Like I got to look at the rush, because you just allow the DNs to tee off on your ass when you keep going backwards. So.
Yeah, I put myself that happened a lot. So like things would be going great. I'm like, okay, moving and grooving, baby. And then like on like 2nd and 4, I'm like, woo, I'm Lamar Jackson. And then 3rd and 15. And then I'm like, son of a. And then then you completely throw yourself out. Now you need some magic, and then you got to step back. And then those are picks and all kinds of turnover situations. We're trying to force something.
You saw some of the passes I threw.
Yeah.
All right. I was getting rid of the ball in 3 to 4 seconds. every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. You know what I mean?
Just
All
as the
those
coaches
routes,
taught you. Yeah.
in Madden, they have a lot of high-low, concepts on one side. So you just got to know how to go through the progression right. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I did not see what you meant last night, but I am seeing more of what you're saying now. Yeah.
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 And you want to dictate somebody. You don't want somebody dictating to you.
Yeah,
That's why
that happened all
Do you
last night.
have a notepad, Boy Green? Are you writing some of this stuff
I
down?
do have a notepad. Yeah, it's right here.
Make sure you're taking some notes.
I'm taking mental notes. I'm taking mental notes right now because
me
and Tim are going to run it back.
Coming,
I'm sure.
So you got Brees Hall as our running back. All right, he's got a unique ability where you could call different hot routes with him that you can't call with other running backs.
Sure.
So he's your blitz beater right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you shouldn't be trying to flush out the pocket with Rodgers at all. You need to if you see the blitz coming off the edge, you need to flip it and make him go into a flat or make him do a Texas route. Either one.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, because you're going to get killed trying to run around with Rodgers or just any running back. That's my favorite. That's my favorite people to play on that game online is people that like to run around like that with like a running quarterback. Because what I do is I put a defensive end and a QB spy, all right, and he just follows you wherever the hell you're going to go. So, because I know you're going to break out inside the pocket eventually. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving these notes because I saw my father taking them. He certainly needs them, so I appreciate you giving some advice.
Untrue. Our all-time Madden record is not in your favor. Unlike you and you hold up your 3 fingers, and you do your little thing there from your movie.
What?
Mockingjay.
Hunger Games?
Yeah. The odds are not in your favor.
Yeah. Okay. So, I see what you did there. Okay. Well, either way, me and Tim are eventually going to run it back. When I get in the right stage of mind, I got to go to some meditation, got to go to rehab. But once I go through all those, we'll be back. We'll be back in the lab.
So how's Mr. Cowboy feel about his Cowboys this year?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm not sure why. So I come on here, Sport Boy Green, talk about the Jets. Not really talk about the Cowboys at all. Sometimes I use an analogy about the Cowboys. I tell you that it's shy of 2 players. It's the same Cowboys team from last year and the same team that's won 12 games in a row, 12 games in a season, 3 years in a row. I think it's an upgrade by subtraction. The change I didn't mention, Dan Quinn is the reason the Cowboys got embarrassed in Green Bay, 100% his fault. And the reason they lost to San Francisco before that is his inability to come up with a defense that stops the run. Puts up a lot of great stats, a lot of turnovers, but that's the reason they lost in the past 2 or 3 years in a row. Him not on the team, bringing back Zimmer. It's going to be a different team on defense. They're not going to give up those historic numbers on the run. They're going to be a better team for it. And losing our left tackle, although upsetting, Tyron Smith was upsetting. Pollard is not as big a loss, right? When he was given the reins, solely the reins, he really hasn't done that much. So I think it's going to be similar to the previous seasons, and hopefully the defense, the improvement in defense and stopping the run, which Zimmer will bring, will make them better. I think they're over 10 wins, but we'll see how the running back by committee works out.
Okay. I think this is their last year maybe to even make the playoffs, to be honest with you. Their team has got so many problems with contracts and big money coming up. All right. And it's so hard to keep a team together when you have to pay that many damn different contracts. The Jets are going to have this problem here in 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's right. So
we'll see.
It's the hard salary cap year. So.
That's right.
All right, fellas. Well,
I appreciate
I'll see you again on Madden some other time.
I'm sure you will. I'll have nightmares about it. Thank you for that call.
So one brief thing I'd like to address.
Okay, sure.
Just quickly.
Okay.
This whole training camp thing. All right. The reason I haven't been to the Cowboys training camp.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
right.
so I just want to make this.
Shout out to Brandon, by the way.
He's asking these questions about the Cowboys training camp. Here's the reason. Okay. I told myself when I retired from the Navy I was going to go to Cowboys training camp.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this. I'm saying this to put it to bed once and for all not for any responses or reactions of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
The reason I didn't go to Cowboys training camp is I was paying for my children. This is a foreign concept in today's society.
Yeah.
I was paying for my children to go to college. Okay. So I could not afford a flight to Dallas or California or wherever they were having their Oxnard. 1 year they didn't in COVID. But anyways, I didn't have money to spend on that because I was paying for my children's education for their future. And after that, life gets busy. I was able to take time off work to drive my son to Cortland to go to Jets training camp for something that he loves and enjoys. So anyways, I just want to get that out there.
Okay.
If I had an infinite amount of money, or if I just made Boy Green pay for his own college, then I would have been at Cowboys training camp, but I did not.
I will say that, there's some good, again, that might be the main event. I don't know of what these calls are about to be, but where there's conversation between you and a listener, a viewer of the show, that may be happening here very shortly. But I love when you guys are going back and forth, you versus fan, just to categorize it in that way. And that Brandon had the great quip where you said, "Hey, Brandon, I've been to several Jets training camp practices. How many have you been to, Arkansas boy?" He's like, none. And then immediately comes back, "Well, how many Dallas Cowboys training camps have you been to?"
Yeah,
and then,
and the reason that you're chuckling about it, I was going to say that then.
Yeah.
But
right.
It just seemed like it was, and the people keep bringing it up. I let it go. I let you have your
funny little
moment.
thing. That was good by Brandon. Come on,
it was a funny thing.
Yeah,
because you haven't even mentioned the fact that I would have gone if not for paying for your ass to go to college.
We don't have.
By the way, a thank you would have been nice. All right, let's move on.
Again, it didn't have to get too serious. It's just funny jokes. Someone gives is a good quip. I just give tip of the cap. But before we get to anything, we have a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Play him, baby. To mother_effing_chew, who has gifted a membership to Arsenal Jets. I need to update my scoreboard here. We're now up to 12 members away. So let me update, like I said, my sheet here. We're now 12 members away from the next emoji. So keep them coming, baby. The Boy Green Coffee Club. That next emoji is basically already done. Snowball just has to make a few final homey touches to it. And Jared B will be remembered and immortalized forever with some emoji, with an emoji action. So keep an eye out for that and continue to help. Before we get to the main event, we have another caller, one of my favorites. Let's go to Terrence here on the show. What's up, Terrence?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? I sound good?
Studio, yeah. It's spectacular.
All right. Got my studio up and ready, man. I'm ready to go this year. I'm ready to go with you guys.
It looks great.
Thank you. So the question was Tippmann?
Yeah, Tippmann, and we had a little bit of Lazard action. Some takeaways from the green and white scrimmage. Tippmann snapping issues, and apparently Lazard's look pretty good.
Okay, so with Tippmann, I'm not concerned at all.
Okay,
it's his second year. He's a center. I don't know about you guys, but when you got, like, I think somebody brought that up. You got the Hall of Famer behind you. You got Quentin Williams in front of you. It's gonna take some time to settle in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so let him settle in. Don't put too much pressure on the man. He's a big dude. He probably can handle the pressure. But just give us some time. And to be honest with you, considering the last decade, the seasons we've had, if our issue is a little snap, what do you call it? Shotgun snap.
Correct.
I'm good. You know what I mean? All these little, think about it. Last season, we wasn't talking about these little linky dinky things. That's 2 years, 3 years ago, we were talking about really big things. Here we are talking about little things, and our heads are getting crazy over it. We're blowing our tops off. It's like, yo, these guys are practicing for a reason. And with Rodgers behind you and Williams in front of you, it's a perfect practice makes perfect situation. Let that man practice.
Yeah, I love it. We're getting, I feel like Terrence is on the bubble going, we're talking about practice. We're getting practice. Get some Allen Iverson action in here. But you are true. To be honest, when people are saying like this and other, again, surface level stuff that means something like, Paul, have you heard that, like Reddick isn't in camp yet? And I say service level now because I don't think it matters yet, but eventually it's going to turn very quickly here. But right now, these are the issues we're dealing with. I'm like, you know what? Not too shabby, not season ending, terrible key players out or anything of this nature. It's just been okay. These are things that teams deal with all the time, and it's okay. Yeah, it feels nice.
How about what do you think the fans would say if the Jets went into week 1 without Reddick and still beat the 49ers?
Wow, that would be, first off, if Reddick pushed it to that level, which again, technically, I guess he could do whatever he wants. That would be noteworthy that he decided to go to that level. And number 2, to beat the 49ers without Reddick and just in general, to accomplish the feats and things that they want to, I think they're going to need him. But boy, that would be impressive, because I'm also curious because 49ers are also dealing with first world problems. Trent Williams is held out of camp. He's the best left tackle in all of football. You still have the Brandon Ayuk situation. He's a hold in. So there's a lot of this action that is happening right now.
Yeah, don't sleep on with or without Reddick. The Jets going into 49ers and beat them. They have to beat them. I'm going to tell you why. Why.
Yeah.
So that game is Monday the 9th. Tuesday the 10th, I'm flying out to Cabo to meet up with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine from high school. He's turning 50.
Nice.
Right? He's the one of the first. I'm not there yet. And then I'm meeting him there. But guess what fan he is?
What's that? 49ers?
Yes.
Oh, what a wonderful trip that's going to be, pal.
What a birthday present to give him, right? When I can gloat after we beat him.
Oh, yeah. Please do. Please give him the business.
Yes.
And I think he will be, because I think the 49ers are good. Obviously, they were just in the Super Bowl and all these other things. But I think the Jets are going to beat the 49ers week 1. And that's going to be quite a statement to the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, I think we're going to come out like a cornered feral cat. You know what I mean? Like so people say, oh, we got chips. Nah. A lot of players on this Jet squad, they got boulders. They got boulders, you know what I mean? And they want the world to know, yo, we come from winning colleges. Yeah, we're gonna bring that to this New York Jets franchise. And I think I think Aaron Rodgers getting hurt last year was just something put more boulders on us as fans to be like, 100%. Yo, that's why I'll understand why there's not so much more positive energy. Like, come on, the reason why we're not winning is because of the energy we're putting out. We put out the energy, we bring back the energy. Guys, Jet fans all over, let's pull out some positive energy. Let's give it to this squad. Let's give it to Allen Lazard. It don't matter. These guys are on our team. It was like you guys came out and said, oh, let's just pick this player. Let's just pick this player. Nah, they picked these players because of what these players had to offer. Give them a chance to offer it to us, especially this season.
I love the positivity.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Jets. Jets. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Terrence joining us here on the show. And real quick, before we get to the main event of tonight's festivities, cooking with the gifted memberships, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much to Mother_effing_Chew, who has gifted another membership. Nixie, you are now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which takes us, we are 11 members away from the next emoji for Jared B. Thank you for your contributions, but we can delay it no longer. B-Mac, welcome to the show.
Hello, gentlemen. Paul Senior. Excuse me, Pop. And then of course, Paul Boy Green. First of all, before I go on, I just want to shout out to Terrence there. You know, that was a good call. You know, those are the kind of fans that you want. You know, positive energy.
Yeah.
You know, the season hasn't started. Don't assume the worst is going to happen.
Yeah.
Be positive. And Terrence kind of remind me of old school DJ in a great way. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, cool. All right.
You know, it seems like you could be in there mixing records and stuff like that. So
okay.
You know what I mean? So. I'm a big music guy too, but so great call by him. But
sure.
But let's get down to business.
I'm all about
first
it.
Of all, Pop, before I respectfully destroy you with facts and evidence, I just wanted to say no, Paul. You can stay too, because we are in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
you're
But
right.
I'll just do this real
because
quick.
It's
Keep
your
going.
show.
Yeah.
I'm
Of
not going
course.
to take you.
I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm just highlighting the stars.
Pop, you can unmute yourself. You're gonna have to unmute yourself.
I'm waiting for you to come across with a point.
Yeah, go ahead, so we can have a healthy back and forth. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to say before I respectfully rip you in half, I wanna say I love you, I respect you. You are a man, you are a legend, you are the GOAT of vets. Without you, Pop, this country wouldn't be what it is today. I am a big fan of patriotism and our men and women and the American flag. I was born American. I always love representing our great country, and you are the leader of doing that. And without you, this world wouldn't be where it is. So you are the GOAT and vets, and that would never get taken away from you. So that's your service. And now I'm gonna respectfully destroy you. So first of all, I got these. These are A-Rod aspirins or pills or medications. I'm gonna ship these to you, Pop. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you get rid of you Rogers derangement syndrome that you be having for all for whatever reason. It's gonna help you calm down. All right. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you relax. It's gonna help you, take you Rogers hate stress away. You know what I mean? So I don't know where your address. You can probably send me in a pipe that I ship these to you, and we can trade. I can send these to you, and you can ship, and you can send me that Devontae Adams signed Paco helmet because I'm also Paco.
I appreciate that. I'll actually send you a shirt because apparently you only have one. But anyways, I would like to start this off. Let me clarify my opinion on Aaron Rodgers, and then I'll stop, and then I'll let you talk respectfully. So I would say that I always come across factually. And so Aaron Rodgers has had an amazing career and will eventually be in the Hall of Fame. I think that there are things I don't like about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not a big fan of going into the darkness. I don't think he's a team guy. I think it's weird that he ended up doing exactly what Brett Favre had done to him at the beginning of his career, what he did to Love, right? So he had to sit behind Brett Favre, and then your boy Jordan Love had to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. I think he is disruptive at times as a team. Again, I'm not taking anything of the talent away, right? He's won the MVPs. He's won the Super Bowl, has great stats, but he says things that kind of undermine the team. I think I'm just speaking. I don't like some of his views. I think some of his things are odd, but we're all odd. But right, I think he should have been there last year for Zach Wilson, and he wasn't. He chose not to be. And so those are the facts. He's very talented. It's not hatred about him, but there's a lot of people I don't like. It doesn't mean I don't hate him. I do think the Jets overall could have done better. They didn't need an MVP quarterback to take this team to the playoffs or the Super Bowl. They needed a competent quarterback, which they haven't had for a little while. And so they didn't need him. That's all I've been talking about Rodgers, speaking factually. And just because we've talked about it before, I'll just be very clear. I'll play a quick game with you because we haven't got a whole lot of time. If I asked you, we'll do a game and you can answer Prescott or Rodgers. Okay. So you answer the question. Who has thrown for more years since Dak Prescott entered the league? Aaron Rodgers or Dak Prescott?
Who's thrown for more passing yards is his question.
More passing yards. I have to look at
Okay, so you know what?
Hold on. You can go have your time in a minute. Prescott or Rodgers? Just to answer the question. Prescott or Rodgers? Who's thrown for more yards?
Well, Rodgers was hurt last year, so you can't count last year.
From the inception of as long as Dak Prescott's been in the league, and by the way, he's had 2 injury-shortened seasons, significantly injury-shortened seasons, which almost equates Aaron Rodgers last year. Since Prescott has been in the NFL, who has thrown for more yards in the entirety since 2016? That's my question. Prescott or Rodgers?
Okay, well, I haven't really checked out my homework on that,
no,
but
just go
I
off
would
the
have
cuff.
to assume it's Dak. I have to assume
It's Dak
Dak.
Prescott. You're absolutely right. And then we'll go
Okay.
with one other game, and then you can speak. Who has won more games since Dak Prescott has entered the league? Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers? Which one? You can say it. It's okay. It might hurt a little bit, but you can say it. It's the same person.
Wait, hold on. Okay,
You can have your time. And I have one question when I turn it over to you. So Dak Prescott has thrown for more yards and won more games than Aaron Rodgers since he's been in the league. Those are just facts.
Who won more MVPs?
You can look them up. I'll give you your time in a minute. I'm not going to interrupt you. I would just ask you to do the same thing. So those are just facts. Who's won more games, more yards, right? What I would ask for everybody on this thing, I have been very clear, right, about who I am and why I come on the show, supporting my son. I do like the Jets as my second team. I've been a Cowboys fan for more than 50 years. So I'm going to give you my impression, and then I'm going to stop talking, and you can tell me if I am right or wrong. I believe that you are a Packers fan that just tribbled over here because Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to give you an analogy. When Emmitt Smith left the Dallas Cowboys and went to the Arizona Cardinals, I was an Emmitt Smith fan. I bought an Arizona Cardinals Emmitt Smith jersey, but I did not become an Arizona Cardinals fan. I wanted Emmitt Smith to do well with his new team, similar to when Jason Witten went to the Raiders for a very short period of time. I wanted them to do. I did not pretend to be an Oakland Raider or an Arizona Cardinal fan. I was their fan. And so my question is this: you call on this show, you're wearing that Jets hat, you put that disgusting shit on the top of it. But in the end, are you so if Aaron Rodgers ends his career tomorrow, are you still a Jets fan? And are you only a Jets fan because Aaron Rodgers came to the team? And I'll stop and let you talk. Thank you.
All right. First of all, look, I'm happy that I let you talk. That was a hell of a speech. It's still not gonna win, you know what I mean, because I'm gonna come back with rapid fire, you know, and with ether. So, okay, first of all, about fandom. Yes, I was a Packer fan when Rodgers was on the Packers. Since he became a Jet, I went and transferred, and I went and became a Jets fan. But I'm still a Packer fan, so I do root for both teams. I root for the Packers and I root for the Jets because Rodgers.
Which is first?
Well, first is the Jets, but my second is the Packers because I'm more of a Rodgers fan. Rodgers, and I'm being honest, and I know people in chat can laugh at me and control me and old bandwagon. Look, we all have heroes that made you fall in love with the game of football, and Aaron Rodgers made me fall in love with the game in football. You know, I wasn't a big football fan. I followed it a little bit. You know what I mean? My dad, when I was a kid, my dad, when I was with my dad, he loved football. You know what I mean? My uncles, they love football. And I used to watch football with them on Thanksgiving when I was like 12, 13 years old. And especially my dad. My dad is a Cowboys fan too. So you and him, RIP, he passed away. But yeah, you and him have a lot in common there. But yeah, I'm a Jets fan first, but I am a Packer fan second. But I still root for both teams. I'm rooting for both teams to succeed. And I'm more of a football fan mostly than a fan of the team. I just love the game of football. I love how the game is played. I love the intensity. And yeah, and I do think that the rules have gotten a little bit soft at some points. But yeah, I do think, I mean, if Rodgers ends his career on a mark, to be honest with you, I would still be a Jet fan. I would still stay and still because the fan base, you know what I mean? When the fan base is one of the nicest fan base. On Jake Ashman's show, Paul Boy Green, love the content creators. The more I tune in, the more I watch the content creators, the more involved I got with the team as a whole. Especially with the, and I do love the Jets logo. The Jets logo attracts me for some reason. I once Rodgers went to the Jets, I started following more with the players. Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, who's awesome. It's weird. You didn't criticize Sauce Gardner for missing practice the last 2 days, but you criticize Rodgers. It sounds a little bit hypocritical.
One was on vacation. One had a very personal family issue. Those things are nowhere near the same. Real quick, if Aaron Rodgers decided to go play for, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year, would you be a Tampa Bay fan?
I will root for him, but I want to be a fan of the team. No, I will root for him. You know what I mean? Okay. I want to be a fan of the. Look, we have, and let's be real. When Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a lot of Patriot fans jumped ship. A lot of them. A lot of Patriot fans became Buccaneer fans. A lot of them wasn't even Patriot fans. Like I believe Patriot fans not really Patriot fans. I think they're fans of Brady, and they were fans because the team was winning and they were a dynasty. Now, if a Patriot fan grew up in the 70s or the 80s and they watched the Patriots like hardcore and watched them suck and was with the team for then and thick and then, yeah, there's fans like those. But I think most Patriot fans are not really Patriot fans. And we saw that when Brady left and jumped to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We saw Patriot fans.
Does that mean that you're a Patriots fan too?
No. Okay, Pop, don't twist my words. I did not say that. I said that
you didn't say we
fans jumped ship and went over to Tampa Bay over Tom Brady. I lived in Massachusetts, and I seen a lot of people wearing a Patriots hat and the Tom Brady Tampa Bay jersey. Like I actually saw it in a real person. I saw a couple of people around here doing that. So, but no, I don't want to, ramble on. I want to get to my point, and the point that came on here to let you know is that, look, I understand how you feel about Rodgers. Nobody's perfect, all right? Hell, there's things where Rodgers does that I don't agree with. I think he says some things that he should keep to himself, especially in the media. I think there's some things that his politics that, I don't think he should go on every single podcast and talk about politics and say things that he knows is going to rub people the wrong way. I'm not stand and act like the man can do no wrong. Nobody's perfect, like Tom Brady. I bet he's not perfect, even though he's the GOAT and he's done a lot of winning. He got issues. Brett Favre, for sure had a ton of issues off the field, a lot of them. And we start to see that just right now. I don't know what your feelings are on Brett Favre, but you're probably not a big Brett Favre fan out there, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I like Brett Favre. I think he's creative. I think Tony Romo and Brett Favre are the same gunslinging style. So I don't. Yeah, and he has done things, and apparently, if he's taken money away, I don't know the facts. If he's taken money away from charities when he shouldn't have, they need to be held accountable, right? You could separate the boxing or any other sport from the person, right? There's what they do for their job, and then there's themselves. If he stole money from the fund away from needy children and families, then he's a dirtbag. If that's true, I don't know if it's true. I haven't looked at all the facts. So, hey, BMAC, I apologize, and we can have a rematch next Saturday. I've got to go to church, and we don't have a lot of time. But I will just send me your address because I'm going to send you a new shirt.
But before you go, I just want to say this quick pick. I don't want to hold your time. Before you go, I just want to just quickly get this out because I like to get my point across. Okay, first of all, you can have every opinion you want to have on Rodgers. I don't care. I do think you did a call. It was crazy. I think the Jets made the right decision getting Derek Carr, despite no matter what happened with the injury. Nobody couldn't predict him blowing out his Achilles. It's not his fault he got hurt. It happened. And you question about Rodgers' health and durability, all that stuff. And I just want to quickly read to you his name on the games and histories of games that he played throughout his career. So hold on real quick. So I'm going to read you his game log and read you from when he was the first year as a starter until now. And I just want to give you some facts, you know, I mean, to let you know that this guy is durable. And because I think you said he was injury prone, and he's not. So I'm going to this. So from 2008 to now, you know what I mean, 15-year career as a starter, Rodgers' games played is 16, 16, 15, 15, 16, 9, 16, 16, 16, 7, 16, 16, 16, 16, 17. And then last year, you know what I mean, 4 plays, you know what happened. That's his career games played, you know what I mean, for his whole career. So the reason I brought that up to let you know that, no, he is tough as nails. He is a team guy. 2 years ago, he played with a broken thumb and broken ribs and knee injury. If someone wasn't a team guy, they wouldn't do that. They would have sat out and not played. The Achilles thing was a freak. No one can play with him torn Achilles. You know what I mean? When you tore your Achilles, you're done. You know what I mean? If they recall, would have tore his Achilles on the 4th play, it would happen to anybody, Mahomes or anybody. It just happens. It's just life. But I do want to say is that I think Rodgers and the Jets will prove you wrong. I think he's gonna be in the MVP conversation and play, we'll say 15 of 17 games, and I think the Jets are gonna go all the way and get to the Super Bowl and face the Packers, and we see where we go from there. But do you have any response to that, Pop?
Yeah, just real quick. Those actually weren't stats. You just Googled his seasons. But anyways, I just real quick, I'll tell you that I predicted them to be either 12-5 or 13-4, the Jets, just for the record. You go back and you look at when I picked the games. So I had them 12 plus wins, which is they've only had like 3 or 4 times in the history of the franchise. So I have not disparaged them.
Only once.
So I haven't disparaged them there. And what I did say factually was that Aaron Rodgers, at his current age, coming off the injury, the analytics say that he's going to miss 3 games. That's what I said. And against a younger person, he's going to statistically potentially miss less games. And we got to go. I got to go get ready for church. So I'm not. We can continue 100% later. But yes, factually, historically, Rodgers had less injuries. As an older person, he is more likely to miss games than a younger person. But peace and love to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks for joining. All right, there he was, the Esden Zone, joining us. And you're done too, B-Mac. Okay, I would just say before you get out of here, I am looking forward. You are going to be at the Jets-Patriots game. My father is going to be at the Jets-Patriots game. So a photo for you both is going to be.
I love you, Dad. I just don't want to sound like I'm disrespectful. And look, I'm just joking around, just having fun with them. You know what I mean? Like, this is what sports is for. It's entertainment, it's a joke and have fun. So, and no, I would gladly love to meet you and your dad. You know, I walk up to your dad, hug him, you know, to take a picture with them, you know what I mean, hang out, talk.
Let me give you some tips, okay? Because, like, I did not interrupt your guys' flow you had going on. If I were you, and he's mentioning Dak Prescott wins and Dak Prescott, passing yards, that sounds like a lot of cherry picking to me of interesting stats that mean diddly. He says wins. Wins aren't a quarterback stat, so I'd throw that away. And then I would say on the passing yards, it's just very niche. Okay, I'm just saying when you come back, as again, I guess it's going to be Saturday, so next time he comes on, I would bring up Aaron Rodgers stats. I bring up Dak Prescott stats and start picking it apart because it's funny. He only mentioned 2 things. The only reason he mentioned those 2 things is it must be Aaron Rodgers beats him in every other category. That's something I would look up so I could smack him around next week if I were you. Again, that's something. And again, those sound like cherry pick stats. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then real quick, I know you do gotta go. I just want to say, the Rodgers and Dak stuff, I will say that for next week for him. But I just want to say something that. First of all, it's disrespectful to compare Aaron Rodgers to a guy that has 0 MVPs and that hasn't made it past the division round since he got into the league.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? Rodgers been to 5 NFC championship games, been to one, a 1-1, been to Super Bowl, won it, won a Super Bowl MVP. Pop, let that get past the division round first before you can start throwing out random stats. And Rodgers and passing yards, to me, passing yards are overrated because they don't tell the whole story. You know what I mean? Drew Brees had 5,000 passing yard seasons, and four out of those 5 he missed the playoffs. So touchdowns, passer rating, touchdown to interception ratio, all that stuff matters too. You know what I mean? And completion percentage. But in those 3 years, 2 of the last 3 years, Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs, made to the championship game, and Rodgers is 4-1 head-to-head against Dak. So since he won't bring up the wins and losses thing, 4-1 against Dak head-to-head.
Okay, so you had some more bullets in the chamber that apparently you'll save for next week with him. Okay, I can't wait, B-Mac. That'll be great.
All right, Paul. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you to B-Mac for joining us. We're going to go back to the phone lines in just a second, but again, if I was in that debate, sounds like some cherry pick stats. I might have been quipping back at him, but apparently they didn't have a lot of time for each other. But I'm curious, guys. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of round 1. Round 2 apparently is coming next Saturday. God bless America. Who knows? Let's go to Johnny. Apparently, this guy is the 411. He comes on this show. He's got a new Jets game show. It's going to be on like CBS or something. I don't know, but let's bring him on. Snowball, your new co-host, just joined us. Johnny, congratulations! Nice.
Boy Green, Jets worldwide, wide.
I love that. Congratulations on the new show, man. That sounds great.
Yeah, man. It's on today. At 10:30 this morning. Myself and Snowball are going to have our first show, and it's Jets worldwide, just one word, and we are going to have a fun Jets game show.
Wow.
It's different. Nobody's going to know what's going on with it, but it's going to be an awesome time. So, come by, show some love, see what you guys think of it.
Quick question. Is this going to be regularly on every Sunday at 10:30, or that's still like TBD?
It's going to be every Sunday, 10:30.
Okay, cool. All right, that's good to know for all the people again. And you can see it on the screen, but for those that are listening again, Jets Worldwide all together. Make sure you guys look that up on. Is it just on YouTube right now, or on all podcast platforms?
On YouTube right now, and we are probably going to have it on Twitter as well.
Great. Okay, so there you guys go. So, guys, make sure you support it again. That's coming up. If you're watching live right now, we are on Sunday, August 4th. That'll be 10:30. Again, Sunday, August 4th. And, of course, if you don't watch it live, I guess you could always rewatch it later. So, Jets Worldwide. Make sure you guys check that out with our boy, Johnny, and, of course, Snowball.
So, the conversation with your pops and B-Mac.
Yeah.
It was a long one.
Yeah,
right?
It was. That was deep. Yeah.
The stats that your dad was talking about in regards to the yardage that Dak has thrown for over Aaron Rodgers since 2016 when
since he came in the league, I guess. Yeah. Or he came in the league, rather.
Aaron has more yards by 400.
Oof. Yikes. Ooh. Okay, a fact check necessary. Okay, make sure I put that one down to let my old man know there. So you said Aaron had 400 yards more?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I will put that on here. Oof. Well, that would poke a big old hole in that. The problem is that so credit to BMAT or not, like whatever you want to say, like that, because of this the specific nature of that stat. That's not something you can like fact check immediately. Like you have to add it up because like that or like see what Aaron Rodgers is, because Dax is what it is. You could see his career stats, but for Rodgers, you'd have to do a little bit of math to make sure you could get that quickly. So that's good to know. Okay, Aaron Rodgers more passing yards.
Yeah,
Yikes.
you can just type it in. How many yards has Aaron Rodgers thrown for since 2016?
Oh,
so
it
right
does
now,
it like that.
Oh,
great.
It pulls it right on up now. So, and it did the same thing for Dak. Now, if I'm not 100% sure if that is the correct amount, but it looks like it is because I went on NFL.com and it pulled it up like that. So
okay, I'll double check it. But yeah, I would love to serve that one to my old man for him not getting his stats right. That'd be funny.
And I wouldn't talk in regards with Dak Prescott. How many playoffs wins has he won?
That would be the more important stat than regular season wins. I would surmise. But
other one too is he's led the league in interceptions. How many times has he done that? You know what I mean? So like, I understand what your pops is saying, and I get it, but I don't think any true Jet fan has asked or has wanted MVP Aaron Rodgers, because the whole conversation's always been we've been wanting competent quarterback play. We want a guy that could get it to A, B, C, and D without freaking throwing it to the dirt when you have just a freaking an in and out. You know what I mean? So, like, for myself, again, what Aaron is doing right now is what we needed to have within a quarterback during this time. Yeah, Tippmann is doing some off-the-wall shit with snapping, but his blocking scheme and everything is still good, and it's what I care more about. The snapping piece of it could be taught, and it's going to be taught.
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
So I don't see that being a problem. Anybody that's played that position within the center itself, he hasn't had that time with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't know how Aaron Rodgers truly likes to have the ball snapped, and he's learning that now. Let's get it out of the way. Do all that crap right now.
In practice,
don't bring it on during the season itself.
Yes.
I'm excited to see. Look, do I believe in Lazard? No, and I tell you why. Because he gave up on the team last year and what he did.
That's the tough part to get over. Yeah.
And exactly, BG. You know that, and I know that, because we've talked about it in the past and everything. Now, am I rooting for the dude? Hell yeah, of course.
Sure.
I mean,
he's
if
wearing
he's
the Jet
off,
logo on the helmet. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Let him cook. Let him do his thing. I mean, he's not going to be wide receiver 2. So it's going to be Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and then maybe Lazard. He might even get beat up by a Malachi on there.
Possible.
You know, but I'll take it. I'll take it all day. We haven't had this surplus of talent in a team, and I don't know, on both sides of the ball in such a long time, that the fan base right now is just nitpicking on shit to try to do. And I
First
get
world
it.
problem. Yeah.
You know, so exactly. So it's going to be a great time. I mean, I'm looking forward to the season. It just, you know, we're seeing stuff in practice that people haven't seen. I mean, you got a guy that's throwing 60-yard bombs almost every single practice on probably the top defense in the league this year. You know, now, of course, they're not going 100 miles per hour and stuff like that, right? Yeah. But still, you weren't seeing freaking that child that we won't name right now, which that child is ready getting thrown to third string quarterback over there in Denver, you know. So that right then and there should tell everybody how bad of a quarterback play we had last year compared to where we're at right now. And dude, like, I can't wait, bro. Like, people are again, if you have one position that you say that we need to bolster up, which position would that be?
I'll just throw a lot out there and then I'll pick one from it. Again, not having a true center kind of like bothers me, because if Tippmann were to get hurt, screw the snapping stuff. If he's set to get hurt, is it Schweitzer? Is it Xavier Newman? Is it Cole Laval? There's a lot of guys, Jake Hansen. There's a lot of guys that know center in their past, but they'd be like, all right, I'll figure it out. I hate that. I wish, like, for instance, if Tyron Smith goes down, Olu Fasher is left tackle. There's no debate. There's no conversation. He is waiting in the wings. We have 0 waiting in the wings for that specific role. Like, Schweitzer's like the 6th man for any of the guard and center spot, which I like the versatility, but I wish we just kind of had a guy. So center, you could nitpick there. And that I mean, to be honest, because I like Ashton Davis, some people don't. So I feel better about safety than, oh, there we go. We got 2 people on the bandwagon. It's getting busy over here. So that would be, actually, the more I think about it, try to comb through the roster. Linebacker, I actually like Jamin Sherwood a lot. So, and Chaz Surratt as another option. So linebacker, I'm pretty cool. Safety, I'm cooler than most. Corners deep as hell. The defensive line is crazy deep. And even if you want to nitpick a defensive tackle, I guess maybe you could say that. But yeah, I'd probably, if I had to pick one, gun to my head, like, Paul, what's one thing he can add? It would probably be that. And I know there's a lot of people on the wide receiver train. I want to see kind of how it rolls out. I agree. I think NY Jets FL was on that one for a long time for months, saying, let's just play it out. Let's play it out with who we have, and then we'll evaluate it after. I think that's a good take to have. So if Devontae eventually comes, and again, the breadcrumbs continue to be out there on social media, that's awesome. But like for right now, you could say center or defensive tackle, I guess, but I'd lean center.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we've never had to the point where we're just been like, holy crap, we have a team that's stacked and we don't know what to do with it. So, I mean, I know I haven't come in, dude, it's been crazy with the little one, BG, but I always wanted to come to at least show some love. And when I appreciate you, SummerSlam was awesome. I do not know if people have not watched it. Probably one of the best SummerSlams in a very long time. 7 matches, 7 badass matches.
And I was so excited before the match. I was like, oh my goodness. All of them look like bangers. And the only one I was kind of like, let's see what happens was Bailey and Nia Jax. I love Nia Jax. Bailey I kind of go in and out on. And that match was good. So all of them were great. And again, we got what we were hoping. I don't want to say for everybody, but like Roman Reigns coming back is awesome. And I can't wait for whatever that storyline is. So SummerSlam was intense. It was awesome. The pageantry, the like, like Dom and Liv and Rhea, like there was great storylines too that are just bubbling. So yeah, Triple H, man, since he's taken over and has been running this ship, I am like, these are like Super Bowl tentpole events for me. Like SummerSlam, I'm telling my fans, like, we got to order food, we got to be ready. We're doing it. We're like hosting it. Like this has to be something. That's how exciting it is. Hello, puppy. That's my daughter showing us her dog. Yeah. So
dude,
it's great.
OTT, I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
so
be
cool.
Bloodline versus old Bloodline versus new Bloodline.
That's probably Survivor
Judgment Day.
Series war. Whatever they call that. What do they call that? War what? Oh, War Games. War Games.
War
That's
Games.
it. Yeah, War Games. So I'm excited about that.
So yeah, man. But dude, you need some practice on them sticks, bro. I saw you last night, man.
You know what, man? And it sucks because I must have just been on like a bad runner's run because I take great pride in Madden. And like on my Oswego High School football team going way back in the day, like I had pride being the best Madden player on the team, smacking people around like, damn, okay, Paul's number one on the sticks. And then like just in general, I play Madden a lot. So like I take great pride in that. So like lately, whatever that run was last night, and now that I've got the mic and everything working, it was embarrassing. So I have to go back to the lab. I got to say, okay, what's going on? Take my Tim notes that he gave me earlier and just go back to the lab, man, because I take great pride in that. But yeah, it was embarrassing. I did beat King Lowski the first time, and then I was falling asleep. It was too late. I was like, I shouldn't have done that, and then I ended up losing. So that I'm old man now. But yeah, I did beat King Lowski, which was nice. And hey, I will give another shout out to anyone who likes that kind of content. To the 500 people in the room, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Yeah, Madden, hit me up, PS5, BoyGreen25. It's the same as it is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And we'll stream the game so people can see them. So I love it when we're doing it with not like some random-ass person, but like someone kind of in our Jets community. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Boy Green. I have to say it was pretty cool seeing that content right there was pretty entertaining. And the other thing, too, is you're commentating on it, bro. It is so funny, man. Like when last night when you were like, oh, man. My defense sucks, dude. I was dying on the other side, bro. It was so funny, man. Like, but anyway,
a lot of people were enjoying it because, like I said, the first couple of games, because like I haven't been regularly streaming Madden games on the PS5, so I said, let me try it because Tim from Fishland wanted to play, and there was K-Brock. I think he was another one in here that wanted to play, and I tried to get the mic and everything going, and like. The stream would be going, and then I thought I was talking to people the entire time, and I realized, oh, geez, no one heard me. So I had to, like, fix a bunch of settings on the PS5, and then yesterday was the first time we had it working. So that's cool. It brings another level to it than just watching two random things. I think it adds some juice, so that's awesome.
Agreed. And, dude, and your show with Woody is awesome as well, man. Like, shout out to Woody, bro. Like,
yeah,
the going, the back and forth that you guys do, it's awesome, man. So, like, I want to say the content is amazing, man. Keep doing your stuff.
Appreciate
guys, if you guys are watching, hit the like, sub it up, on all platforms for him as well. I mean, he brings it all the time. Even the stuff he was throwing last night on Twitter with SummerSlam, that thing had me dying last night as well. So MTV Crib style on the IG yesterday with Matt O'Leary and whatnot.
Which, by the way, since you brought it up, Johnny, Matt O'Leary joining us tomorrow on the show for Boy Green Daily. We're going to check out the MTV Cribs. He has a brand new studio, and I think that's a good idea. That whether it's one Jets drive or somebody to check out, so we could kind of like walk through all this stuff and the stuff we see and all that jazz. That'd be super cool. So Matt O'Leary, breaking news, will be joining us for Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning.
Dude, did you see the freaking TV that was coming down from the ceiling for him and stuff like that? And then the insane pool that just pulls out of nowhere and all that. So you can either have it outside if he wants to, or it closes back up to be inside.
Subscribers must be doing well over there on the Matt O'Leary channel.
Yo, what are we doing, right?
I know. I need so fans, can we start super chatting? I need like an infinity pool here in my office. We need to upgrade. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Look, I need a nanny. That's what I would like. Okay.
Yeah, that seems like a fair request.
I would take that all day.
Okay.
Hey, BG, appreciate you, brother. Keep doing your stuff, man. I really do look forward to the content. Even though I don't call in as much.
Yeah,
I promise I'm still in there listening, dude.
I appreciate that, man.
You bring it every single day, dude. And I can tell you right now, we appreciate Coffee Club. You already know what time it is, man. JETS, baby. Jets. And if you're not with it, then I don't know what you're doing, man.
That's for damn sure. So appreciate Johnny Boy joining us on the show. Jets Worldwide, again, 10:30 coming up in a little bit. Again, to the 500 people in the room, like the video, hit subscribe, show your support. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning for Boy Green Daily, which is New York Jets content. We also have random live Madden games. Keep an eye out for that. And my commentary on the Madden, whether it's going well or not, that's on there as well. I do a weekly show with Jake Asman every Friday. It's on both of our channels. I do 2 shows a week with James Woody. That is at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Third Party Thursdays are with an extra Jets guest that you know somewhere from the content creator community. So you guys can check out that. And then once the season gets here, we will be doing live post-game shows 2 hours after the final whistle. We'll be doing that as well. So I'm looking forward to all of that content and more. So spread the love, baby. And by the way, we are 11 members away as we're signing off here from the next emoji coming out from the Boy Green Coffee Club. And again, it's easier than ever now to join the Boy Green Coffee Club, whether you're on your phone, desktop, laptop, doesn't matter. If you go to our YouTube description of this video, it is the first link. It says, join the Boy Green Coffee Club. I see plenty of green of Terrence Hills and Ron Pease, but there's others like Charles DeComo. I see you in here. Love the show, Paul. Go Jets. If you remember the Boy Green Coffee Club, your name would turn green and there'd be a nice little logo by you. Or David Jackson, any of these people. Feel free, guys, to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Show your support, baby. It's just $2.99 a month. A cup of coffee, every month. There's 2 random examples I see in here that could join the group. Make sure you guys do. You can either join it yourself or gift it for somebody else. Either way, we appreciate it. Like I said, 11 more members away from old Jared B getting his own emoji, and he friggin' deserves it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow morning live with Matt O'Leary from his new crib, his new studio. Should be a good time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you then. God bless. Take